Hi everyone, this is Christine Josty from Mail Something Pretty, and today I'm going to show you how to make this colored butterfly using the new Brusho crystal colors, which are tons and tons of fun, and there's lots of different ways to color. So the Brusho colors are found in the Spring 2018 Occasions catalog, and they're right here on page 26. And the card is kind of similar to this card here, but we're doing the butterfly. All right, so let's get started. First, we're going to stamp our butterfly, and I'm going to use the Beautiful Day stamp set that actually is also on, there's the colors, it's on the same page as the colors, and they kind of work beautifully together, really. We're going to use the butterfly that I've already put on my block, and we're going to use the basic gray ink. You can use, for the Brusho colors, you want to use either the basic gray or the black. Both are archival, which means they are not water soluble. They're permanent because you're going to see in a minute we're going to use water. So if we used a water-based ink, everything would just smear. We're also going to use today, I don't know if you can see it, but it's the shimmer paper. There's little sparklies in it. Again, you want a paper that can withhold some water, so the shimmer paper works great and the watercolor paper works great. We're also going to use our aqua painter. Actually, first, I'm going to hand it myself. First, we need to stamp our butterfly. All right. I'm just going to stamp it on there. Oh, not so great, so let's flip that over. Let's ink it up good. Sometimes that happens. You just flip over your paper. Around. Let's try that again. Much better. Okay. So now we're just going to put that aside just for a second to dry. And I just want to show you the Brusho colors. So they come in a box of 5 colors. You open them up. You get Prussian blue, yellow, brilliant red. What's this one's called? It's orange, but it's called Gamboge. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. And moss green. And we're going to use today the yellow and the red. I'm going to put those aside. So I warn you, do not open these. Don't open them. The powder or the crystals in here is super fine. They're going to go all over the place and they're going to make a mess. So all you really need to do, and hopefully you can see this on the camera, there I have 3 pinholes. I just used a tack and stuck it in there and made 3 little holes. This one happens to have 4. So you only need 3 or 4 holes, and you'll see in a second what we're going to do. But if you open it up, it's just going to go everywhere, and you hardly need any. So these vials are going to last a really long time. Okay, so what I'm going to do for this coloring technique today is I'm going to use my aqua painter. I do have some water in here, but sometimes it's just easier to get a container of water. Just use it like a paintbrush. Oh, there's actually a little color on there, but that's okay. So you're just going to paint with water, like, you know, like those little kid books. I'm just going to do half the butterfly first. Okay, so I'm going to get it pretty wet. All right, and then I'm going to take my yellow, I'm going to turn upside down and just tap. You see how the sprinkles are coming out? And then I'm going to tap some red. Okay, and then I'm going to do the other side. You could do the whole thing first, but I just didn't want the water to get too absorbed. So I'm just going to, sometimes you'll see how that happened. Some powder fell on the paper, and once it touches water, it's like magic. It just turns to a color. All right, a little red. Okay, so I can leave it like that and let it air dry, and over time it's just gonna kind of ooze. Or I can kind of help it a little bit too. If I take a little water and just with a light touch, see how they blend together? I'm doing it really lightly because I kind of like this little spattered look. If I didn't like that, then I could, you know, you can work itself out. Just lightly going over it, and they kind of blend together nice. These colors are so much fun. And the more water you have, the more kind of displaced the powder gets. So see how there's not a whole lot of water in here, it's just little dots. Just added some. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna let that sit and dry. You can use a heat gun and dry it, or you can just let it air dry. So for the sake of the video, I have another one already done. And so each butterfly is different, but it will lighten up a little bit in the color. See, it's dark because it's still wet, and it will lighten up. And then I just cut it out with my scissors. I also cut off the antenna. I figured that was okay for the sake of this card. This is what we're making. And see, even those two butterflies are different. And I like this saying, you're one of a kind, because each butterfly is different. So we'll just put our card together real quick. I have, the card's gonna end up being a 4 1/4 square card. And I used, this is my favorite color. It's the Lemon Lime Twist. And this is from the new, oh no, I forget the name of it. It's a new pack of paper. It's actually the best-selling paper. It's black and white, and you can actually even color this a little bit too if you wanted colors. I can't think of what it's called, but just gonna use my snail. Put it on there. Just gonna put the corner to corner on this edge and just leave a little green, just so you can see some of the color rather than the standard border around the whole card. And then I'm going to use what I like for these, because the butterfly body is so thin, these mini dimensionals work out great. So I'm just going to put 2 little mini dimensionals along its body, and then also, because this card is 4 1/4 square and the envelope's a little bit bigger to the 5 1/2, you can have some of your butterfly go off the card, which is nice because it will still fit in the envelope. And then lastly, I'm going to stamp my greeting. I liked the "You Are One of a Kind," especially for this, excuse me, this butterfly, and that comes from the Lovely Wishes stamp set that's also in the 2018 spring catalog. I'm just going to use my real red because we have some of those dimensional things stuck on here. Matches the red crystals. I can't get it off. Sticky. There we go. And this is just on a 1/2 inch wide piece of paper. You are one of a kind. And I'm just going to use my, you know what, I'm going to do that again because my K and my D kind of didn't stamp. I like you to be able to see the whole thing. Rock it a little bit. There we go, much better. And then I'm just going to use my scissors. I'm just going to cut a little bit here, and then just make that little flagged shape I like to cut in the middle. Then go from corner to middle, corner to middle. I find that's a little easier to get symmetrical. And I'll just use those mini dimensionals again. They really do come in handy. Be careful with red. I tend to get red everywhere. And just stick it on the card. And then this card can be really anything. It can be a thank you, a birthday, hello. You can stamp whatever you want on the inside. So there is one technique on how to use the Brusho crystal colors. Have a great day, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.